Strong societies are built upon individuals who demonstrate integrity, responsibility, compassion, and self-discipline. The ethical foundation of yoga, known as yamas and niyamas, provide timeless principles for personal and social conduct. Values such as truthfulness, non-violence, self-control, contentment, and respect for others help shape character and strengthen communities. In an age facing ethical and social challenges, yogic ethics offer valuable guidance for responsible citizenship. This topic of panel discussion explores how ancient yogic wisdom can contribute to create more conscious, ethical, and socially responsible citizens. So the topic of panel discussion today is, can yogic ethics build better citizens? I feel delighted to welcome and introduce our next guest, whose guiding force is self-realization and service to humanity. She is Didi Ananda Sadhna. She was born in Netherlands and trained as a yogic nun with Ananda Marga in 1979. Since 1980, she has worked in Thailand, United States, Nicaragua, Argentina, and is currently working in Venezuela, teaching meditation, yoga, and running educational service projects. She is dedicated to the physical, mental, and spiritual awakening and liberation of all women. In Caracas, she feeds the homeless and runs a holistic health center. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Didi Ananda Sadhna. I extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guest, Dr. A.K. Jain, Director, MDI Murshidabad, working as a Professor of Leadership, Emotional Intelligence and Organization Design, Dean Accreditation and Ranking, Online PGDM and School of Management for Financial Institutions and Management Development Institute, Gurgaon. He has established a Center of Excellence for Indian Thought and Management. Professor Jain is a visiting professor to several international universities including Aarhus University, Denmark, IULM University, Milan, Italy, University of Free State, South Africa, and Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, Ranchi, Bodh Gaya, and Kozhikode. Professor Jain has received an award for extraordinary performance for Aarhus University for his research and publication and from National Academy of Psychology, India. He has also worked as the Director of Institute of Management Studies, Ghaziabad, and received a prestigious award of Most Charismatic Leader in Management Education and Education Post. He has published 72 research articles in high-impact journals, including Journal of Managerial Psychology, International Journal of Hospitality Management, etc. He has research interests in the field of leadership, emotional intelligence, employee voice and silence, psychology, well-being. He has faith in Indian thoughts emanating from Upanishads, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Tattvarat Sutra, Tipitaka, etc. He believes in traditional Indian knowledge system and practice concepts like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Ahimsa Paramo Dharma, and Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Professor A.K. It is a great pleasure to warmly welcome Ms. Claudia Zilvetti in Fahante, a distinguished psychologist, Gestalt therapist, Hatha yoga teacher, and dedicated advocate of holistic well-being, currently engaged in psychological counseling and emotional education. She continues to support individuals and families through compassionate guidance and integrative therapeutic approaches. A graduate from the University Católica Bolivia, San Pablo, she has further specialized in Gestalt psychotherapy, parental yoga, and restorative yoga. As the founder of Ishwara Yoga Studio, she has successfully combined psychological and yoga therapy to create transformative spaces for healing and personal growth. Through workshops and educational initiatives across Bolivia and Chile, she has addressed emotional regulation, stress management, child abuse prevention, and resilience building. Her multidisciplinary approach has positively impacted people of all ages. Ms. Zilvetti Infantia exemplifies empathy, wisdom, dedication, and authenticity, inspiring others to cultivate emotional harmony, self-awareness, and a more balanced and fulfilling life. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Claudia Zilvetti Infantia. It is a great pleasure to warmly welcome Ms. Elizabeth Mar Gracia, an inspiring human development trainer, yoga educator, and advocate for personal growth in Tuxpan, Veracruz, Mexico, with a strong academic foundation in public accounting, complemented by postgraduate studies in administration and marketing, as well as diploma in yoga teachers training from Yogic School. She brings a unique blend of professional expertise and holistic wisdom to her work. Currently, she actively participates in community associations and contributes to a radio program focused on family well-being, self-esteem, and personal development. Passionate about empowering others, especially women, she is devoted to help individuals recognize their potential and create meaningful positive change in their lives. Her love for yoga, travel, music, dance, and lifelong learning reflects a vibrant spirit and appreciation for life's richness. Ms. Gracia embodies compassion, optimism, authenticity, and a heartfelt commitment to uplifting and inspiring those around her. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Ms. Elizabeth Mar Gracia. We are honored to welcome and introduce Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar, an internationally recognized scholar, writer, and management consultant with an extraordinary commitment to global well-being. Nominated by Civil 20 under G20 as the international coordinator for the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam initiative, he has addressed the United Nations headquarters in Geneva on the International Day of Conscience. In June 2023, he served as the global convener for the World Yoga Summit in Germany and is also the international coordinator for ICCR-nominated Global Conference on the Holistic Yoga Beyond Physiology 2023. He is one of the most sought-after speakers across India. His work has impacted over 3 lakh beneficiaries across 120 countries, including cabinet ministers, bureaucrats, defense, corporate professionals. He convenes United Consciousness Global, aiming to develop the world's first integrated manual for humanity, leads Project Self USA to promote scientific aspects of ancient Indian philosophy, sits on the board of European Yoga Federation in Italy, and oversees spiritual healing in Africa through the Spiritual Council. He additionally founded, with an academic background spanning business management, journalism, public administration, philosophy, and yoga. Dr. Tomar's prolific writing, including Rule the World as Krishna Did, continue to inspire countless individuals worldwide. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar.
Namaste and welcome to all revered guests from different parts of the world. We can see Professor Jain from India, Namaskaram. We can see Didi, Ananda Sadhna ji from Venezuela, Namaskaram. We can see Elizabeth ji from Mexico, Namaskar, and Claudia from Bolivia, Namaste. That's amazing time of the world to discuss about such an important topic. Can yogic ethics build better citizens? To begin with, the world in which we are living today, a big portion of the world is going through war. किसी के backdrop पे, is there some sound at the backdrop from somebody?
Yes.
There is sound.
Yes.
If all of you may switch off their mics, then we'll get to know whether sound goes. Yes, it goes now. Perfect. So I'll request then you can switch on and stop speaking. That's perfectly fine. The kind of world we are living today, half a big portion of the world in Middle East and a part of Europe is under war. War happens, leaders take decision for their own reasons, but leaders are nominated, elected, and made by citizens. So we thought, why not to discuss whether yoga can build better citizens, who will choose in further better leaders, and world will become better. So to start with, can yogic ethics build better citizens? I just want to know from all of you quickly. We may start with Ajay Janji. Do you think that the values in society are declining by and large? Over to you. Unmute and speak, please.
Thank you, Dr. Tomar, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak at this wonderful platform. And I'm continuously listening most of the session, and all are very encouraging and enlightening. Thank you so much for organizing this Yoga Week, International Yoga Week, and the topic you have chosen is very, very apt in the current atmosphere. And you are witnessing many international global event which is taking place, where even the countries are becoming irresponsible, and unbridled greed also creeping over them. And the basic cause which I realize in modern world is, though we are honest, but if opportunity comes, then we become dishonest. So if things are remaining okay, then we all are honest. But if the opportunity comes, then definitely we may avail that opportunity. So yogic ethics definitely can be a good avenue to regulate such thing. And today I will definitely would like to take the help from Jainism and Jain literature, which talks about four kashaya. And like in Gita, there are six fours. In Jainism, there are four kashayas. And these kashaya, like anger, greed, and maya, illusion, some deceit, and moho. So these are four things. And out of four, one thing which I believe to be regulated by common men like all of us is greed. Though anger cannot be controlled, very difficult, but anger can harm oneself and others at momentary level. But greed can definitely harm the entire society, especially when you are at a responsible position. Like I am a professor, had been director, and my unregulated greed can harm the entire institute. So I will focus one yogic ethic principle is greed to be regulated.
Thank you very much, Professor Jain, as mentioned, that the values in the society are declining, and anger, greed, delusion, and one more point you mentioned. What was that?
Maya, moho.
Okay, perfect. So now I'll go to our friend Claudia. Claudia ji, which yogic principle do you think are needed or is needed the most to deal with the kind of society we are living where values are falling down? Anger, greed, delusion, and attachment to temporary is increasing all the more. That is Maya. Over to you, Claudia Ji. You may unmute and speak. Yep.
Thanks a lot for the invitation. It's a pleasure to me, Mr. Vikrant. I think nonviolence is one of the most important values, but today I want to talk about brahmacharya.
Mm-hmm.
Brahmacharya is probably the most misunderstood yama, and also important today, although it is often translated as moving toward the sacred and was traditionally associated exclusively with celibacy. Today, it can be understood more broadly as moderation and the conscious direction of energy, or the conscious use of vital energy, prana. It is various dimensions, uh, sexual, verbal, mental, and emotional. Master Desikachar pointed out that brahmacharya means directing energy toward what truly has value and meaning. So this teaching reminds us that not everything that demands our attention deserves energy.
Thank you very much, Claude. Yes, you want to say something?
Yes, in this sense, brahmacharya can also be understood as a practice of attention training and healthy emotional management.
Mhm. Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much. To bring out one more important topic, she mentioned nonviolence and brahmacharya, moving towards sacred, diverting energies in the right direction. We'll go to Didi Ananda Sadhana ji. Didi, Professor Jain mentioned about certain degradation of the values in the society. And today we are celebrating International Yoga Week. What do you think are the major lessons of yoga that can act as an antidote to degradation in the society?
Thank you for allowing me to be part of this very, very beautiful experience. Yoga talks about dharma. Everything has a purpose in life, and human beings have a spiritual dharma or Bhagavad dharma. And we are living in very adharmic times, meaning we are moving away from our true purpose, our true goal, and it is actually destroying us. We are matter-centered instead of God-centered. And matter-centered is to be matter-centered takes us downwards. To be God-centered lifts us upwards to our higher purpose, our higher chakras. So, how to turn that around? How to change an adharmic society which has taken root in our collective consciousness? How to then turn this around and guide humanity towards Dharma, Bhagavad Dharma, and towards a God-centered style of living. And that is yoga. Yoga is a lifestyle, right? Still many people think it is doing asanas, which is a very important part of yoga. But really, yoga is a lifestyle. It is something that no matter what you do, but yoga accompanies you in your lifestyle through the practice of jama niyama, which is the base, through the practice of meditation, which is the means towards the goal of supreme consciousness. So I think yoga is the future. Yoga makes clear a very important question which every human being needs to ask him or herself. Why am I here? What is my purpose? Once I have that clear in my mind, I already have resolved 50% of my life existential issues. No? What is my purpose? What is my dharma? My purpose is to go back to the origin. We come from supreme consciousness, we go back. Once I establish that clearly in my mind, then the next question is, okay, how do I get there? And that's where yoga comes in. Yoga is the lifestyle, is the path to move back towards the origin, towards supreme consciousness.
Thank you very much, Didi. Profoundly, she started with purpose of life. She concluded with purpose of life. She said, a life without purpose, it's almost not worth living. So, and that's why dharma is declining and we are becoming more matter centered. Let's go to Elizabeth. Elizabeth J. We heard all the experts over here mentioning values are declining, dharma is declining, we are getting more matter centered. How yoga can answer to these challenges, in your understanding?
Elizabeth, I think the question has been asked to you.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Hi.
So the question has been asked to you.
Yes.
Yeah. I think Dr. Vikrant has been dropped. It looks like that.
Yeah.
We can't see Dr. Vikrant, correct?
Jain sir, Vikrant ji will join again.
Yeah. So
Sure.
should we continue?
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead, I think. So
To start now, or
yeah, I think you can start. I think meanwhile Dr. Vikrant is joining. And the
Okay,
question has
am
been
I
asked.
visible now?
You are
Okay.
visible, Dr. Vikrant. You are visible.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. It happened
No
for the
issue.
first time ever in last 8 years.
Really?
Okay, I felt like that I was driving a car and there were 4 passengers seated in that car, and suddenly I jumped out of the car. And what those 4 passengers must be thinking about? What?
Maybe.
No,
Yeah.
whether you are saved or not when you jumped out of the car.
Hope so.
Yes, somehow I managed to come back.
Yeah.
Perfect. So the question to you, Elizabeth ji, was how yoga responds to these challenges that we are listening right now. Over to you.
Well, good morning, everywhere. I'm honored to be here today to discuss these ethical living and yogic principles. Well, now the world needs words that build, not destroy, because all the world is stay difficult time, but the practice of yoga do many things inside and outside of our lives. I think the ethics livings is important because the respect, the honor, be good person like ahimsa, and it says no violence, and shows the how to eradicate physical, verbal, and mental harm. And I think the honesty in satya and the truth is important for our lives. Changing all time our mind, but it's not need to feel the bad things feelings. And pranayama and meditation, it helps to reduce the stress, reduce the balance, and being better yourself. Because yoga is union, the practice of yoga helps a lot.
Thank you very much for adding some more points to the discussion. She mentioned ahimsa
Ahimsa.
at all 3 levels: verbal, mental, or in physical, along with satya, being person of high integrity, is more important as a citizen also, going beyond our limited interest and see the bigger interest. We'll go back to the Jain Saab. Jain Saab, you also mentioned a word called we are conditionally honest. People at times are honest till they are not given an opportunity for dishonesty. What are the principles, methods, or tools yoga provides so that we can become citizens can become a person of higher integrity and lower greed?
Very good question, I think, Dr. Vikrant, because most of the time we must also be very clear in our head that these yogic ethics is not to teach like the governments of various states. We are nowhere trying to teach whether our prime minister, our ministers are honest or dishonest. These yogic ethics are and principles are meant to every single human being, including myself and others. So, at the level of citizen, the honesty must be recognized as a principle, and we must strive to become an highly honest society. I lived in Denmark and I found the citizens of Denmark is quite honest. At the same time, India is striving to become a developed country by 2047. But I will at the same time put this point forward that India can never become developed nation until the citizen of India becomes honest. The most important principle of a developed country to become a developed country is the honesty at the level of citizens, and doesn't matter how much maybe offer can be made to you, and the situation can be given to you. Why we are talking about honesty and many other concepts which my other colleagues have also raised, like ahimsa, etc. In Jainism, there are 7 fundamental principles, and I am putting in framework. The first is jiva. Jiva means living, living organism. Ajiva is a non-living without consciousness. Then the third is like influx of karma called asram. Then the fourth is the bondage, and the fifth is called samvar. It means stoppage of the karma. Then nirjara means disassociation of karma, and the seventh is moksha, liberation. So, for example, if you are a greedy person, you are angry person, you are living in an illusion, like in a deceitful manner, or or like pride also. So anger, pride, greed, deceit. If you live by those values, then you develop some kind of bond, and your atma, the soul, is having some kind of bondage, and then you will never realize the powers within. In Jainism, 47 powers are narrated, and the moment your soul is liberated, you become so powerful that you can run the entire country of 140 billion people, something like that. Because then you can put your influence over it. Like Dr. Tomar, I always found you a very influential person. When you speak, people listen because somewhere you are able to touch your soul. So such people are required in our society who are driven by their souls. And these principles are very much applicable in the society. Like living soul can be compared with the citizen, the non-living matter can be compared with the state, the infrastructure, the influx of karma can be compared with like civic corruption, the bondage to the matter like societal decay, stoppage of influx like samvar is ethical vows, like all everybody takes ethical vows. Disassociation like shading can be compared with social reforms, and absolute liberation can be compared with idealism, ideal society like utopian society.
Very
So these
profound. Thank
principles are for all of us, not for any government.
Thank you very much, Professor Jain mentioned about the jiva has to remove himself by the influx of limited
Correct.
thoughts, limited identities, and disassociate with this wrongdoings. When the soul gets liberated, then the powers get manifested. That's amazing. Shouldn't we be starting these things more often, more deeper in schools, Claudia? What's your take in this? The role schools can play in such ethical living.
Yes, it is essential. Values cannot be taught to a nervous system that is in survival mode. That's very important. First, we must ensure that students are well nourished and have the necessary conditions to study. The schools have the opportunity to become places where students not only acquire academic knowledge, but also develop human skills like the ethics of yoga. Of course, ethical education can promote empathy, peaceful conflict resolution, social responsibility, and emotional self-regulation. For example, where I work, Students not only attend academic classes, but also care for farm animals such as chickens, ducks, and sheep. They learn to grow food, understand soil conditions, and know when to plant and harvest, which gives them a connection with nature. They also do not use digital devices. There are spaces where everyone can discuss personal or group issues in what are called assemblies. And another example is that once a week, everyone shares healthy food during recess. And of course, there is a psychology department where students can talk about their problems. So this is very important uh, for
Perfect. Thank you. Lots of good points she mentioned about yoga can be introduced in giving emphasis on empathy, social responsibility, social and emotional intelligence, organic and nature living should be introduced in the school. We'll come back to Didi, Ananda Sadhana ji. Didi, can these ethical things can be taught by preaching, or they need lots of practice to develop? Fine, we introduce in the school, lots of teaching will take place. So, can it be taught by preaching, or it needs lots of practice?
Um, yoga is a practical science. Yoga is yoginis are practical people, meaning it has to be put into practice. The teaching plays a role, but only those who practice it and really live those values can teach it in a way that others will be inspired to implement it, to follow their example. So practice is it's a lifetime commitment. It's a lifestyle. It's believing in what is your goal and then implementing according to the concept is important. There has to be a clear concept, which you can call preaching or teaching. But in the end, all these ideas have to be put into practice to make them really valuable for me, for myself. I mean, meditation you cannot learn in a book. You have to do it. Asanas, it's not by reading about asanas that they will have effect on you. You have to do it. Jama niyama, it's a constant daily effort to live up to my values, to live up to jama niyama. And that over years will inspire others. And they will come to you and they will ask, what do you do? Why are you the way you are? They feel something in you because you live up to your teachings or your preachings. You believe them and you live up to them. And it's a dedication of a lifetime. And the good thing is if we can start teaching that in the schools from very young to children, those type of practices by highly evolved teachers. Not anybody can or should be a teacher. It should be those who live up to those values and go back or go forward with what's in India a long time ago was implemented, was what we call the Gurukul system. It are the teachers, the gurus or the true teachers that should be the teachers in our schools. Not just anybody with an academic diploma and it has some academic, it needs to be highly evolved people. And we can really create a new society by implementing those values by highly evolved people in our schools. And those children will be different children from today.
Thank you, Didi. And when you speak, lots of experience comes out of your mouth. Again and again, you keep on saying it's a lifetime commitment. It's a lifetime commitment. That's amazing. Thank you. We'll go to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, you heard speakers speaking right now. Do you think like introduction of such values like ahimsa, satyam, yama and niyamas can reduce violence in the society, can reduce decay in the values in the society? If yes, how?
Well, the answer is yes. I think reduce the violence is important. If work every day in self-conscience, if use all the tools that gives us the practice of yoga, the ethics livings, the ethics, principles of ahimsa, of yama and niyama, because niyama is about self-discipline, and I think is important for the every person for grow up. I'm doing now the opportunity of being personal trying with the women's. So I recommend every day you the discipline is important to do. If have goals, improve your life all the time. And in Jama, it is strength. It says ahimsa, all people knows about hear about the violence, but it's not about just be bad person. It's more of that because our codes important of conduct, and a parigraha is part of yamas, and we should learn about that because in this moment all of us are detachment a lot of this, and well, it's my opinion. I think all are important, yama
Thank
and yama.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth, giving emphasis on Yama and then Niyamas specifically. Now, this is a rapid fire round. It's the last round. So, in this, what we are going to do is we are going to ask each expert one practical tip doable from tomorrow onwards for our audience to become a better citizens from wherever they are, whatever they are, including all of us. So, one practical tip, no elaboration, one actionable item. Over to Professor Jain.
uh, taking clue from Jainism, the main motto in Jainism is that all souls are interdependent and we are interconnected. So whatever I will do ultimately will come back to me. So, like Elizabeth talks about ahimsa, that is the fundamental and core principle in Jainism. So, I should be mindful of my speech, my action, and my intent, and I should never harm or think of even harming anyone, and try to forgive people. Doesn't matter how much harm they made to me. So I would always practice forgiveness. Sometimes I get upset, angry, of course, but gradually I try to control. And these things are called carefulness, five samitis in Jainism, and guptis also. Like gupti means like restraints, like mind, speech, and body. Control your mind, speech, and body. Then dharma, like humility, forgiveness. So the one thing I will take only the forgiveness,
Thank
and
you.
because I know that if I will forgive other, the universe will forgive me also for my mistake.
Beautifully said. Thank you very much. Over to you, Didi. One practical tip to be done.
Me? Practice meditation twice a day. Can be 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, can be an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. But create the habit of sitting down every day, close your eyes, and take your mind inwards. It's inwards, looking for your God inside of you, for your soul inside of you, your light, your divinity. And that will help transform our minds, surely but sure. It will transform our minds bit by bit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Quickly, Elizabeth, your pick for it. Practical executionable things to become a better citizen than what we are today.
Unmute yourself, Elizabeth.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, if I recommend something, it's practice empathy.
Mhm.
But first, empathy for yourself, and
Mhm.
then with others. Also, talking about curious,
Mhm.
talk with people, help those, and practice yoga because always start with the practice, because it my my life changed when I knew what is yoga, is the path
Thank you
with
very much,
with me.
Elizabeth.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you are speaking out of your own experience. So, dear friends who are watching and who will be watching us from different parts of the world, we had the discussion called "Can Yogic Ethics Build Better Citizens?" And we have honorable guests from different parts of the world, and we discussed and concluded on many important points. I would like to begin with what Mahatma Gandhi envisaged as a society where wealth without work should not be appreciated, pleasure without conscience should not be appreciated, knowledge without character cannot be appreciated, commerce without morality should not be appreciated, science without humanity should not be appreciated, worship without sacrifice should not be appreciated, and politics without principle cannot be appreciated. Dear friends, we had our experts from different parts of the world. And when we had those experts, we asked them. Then we had Claudia. She said that yes, that there is a degradation in the society, and that degradation can be recovered by the following non-violence and brahmacharya, having a more leaning towards the sacred lifestyle and diverting towards energies towards the right path. And she said, when we divert our energy towards the right path, it will help us to have cultivate positive emotions. These things should start from school. In school, yoga, empathy, social responsibility. Just to tell you, Claudia, when we had a talk with Honorable Dalai Lama ji, he also mentioned this word, social responsibility. Next is emotional intelligence should be taught in the school, she said. Organic living and nature living should be taught in the school. When these values will go, we'll develop a better society. Jain Saab said that unfortunately we have created a society where honesty has become conditional. Anger, greed, delusion, attachment to temporary pleasures has become a part of the society. What is to be done is we need to be higher in integrity and lower in greed. For that, we need to create a society where honesty is genuinely appreciated. Honesty of the citizens only is the possibility to lead to make a developed country. When Jiva will remove the bondages from lower deeds, then only his soul can become liberated and he can cultivate those 47 powers. And for that, I need to always remember that I am interdependent and we are interconnected. We are not an island, we are a part of a continent. And for that, we need to be mindful about our speech, action, and intent. He said forgiveness is the key. Nobody is perfect. If I forgive others, universe will forgive me. And that's how we can create a more forgiving and loving society. Elizabeth said that certainly yamas and niyamas is the key. She mentioned that yamas and niyamas in that ahimsa of body, of verbal, physical, and mental ahimsa is must. Integrity is to be upholded called satyam. Pranayama and regular meditation is must. She also mentioned the importance of asteya, non-stealing, and aparigraha, living at a minimalistic life, whatever is needed. Santosha also, and such yamas and niyamas she gave special attention to. She gave a clue, empathy, help, and do regular yoga. These are to be cultivated as an immediate practice. We had Didi Ananda Sadhana ji, she said, never forget your purpose of life. When purpose of life will decline, dharma will decline. And society will become more matter centered than God centered. And she said, yoga is the only path. And it has to be first made a lifestyle. Because, and how to make it lifestyle, she said, start with the basic question, why I am here? Why am I born? What's my purpose of life? Then the second question is, how do I get there? There, whatever is my purpose of life. And the path automatically becomes the yoga. She said, yoga is a pure science. It has to be practiced before you preach. As they say, preach before you practice. And that's why, as it is said, preach Bible and speak nothing. Your conduct should be like this. And this is why in India, teachers are called acharyas, acharati, or who brings it in behavior. She said, do role modeling. Values should be role model, and that the possibility of that will increase if we go back to Gurukulam system. She advised all of us meditate twice a day. And because Claudia, in between, we lost you. One final bottom line from your side, one suggestion from your side before we close. One liner suggestion to all of us to become a better citizen.
Thanks a lot. My interest was that I want to say that when we really perceive our needs, emotions, and actions, the possibilities for a more authentic relationship with others and with ourselves increase. We are better.
Thank you very much. Love each other, connect with each other, and be more authentic in life. Thank you very much. I am sure that it will benefit all the people who will be hearing it as it has benefited me. Thank you very much, honorable guests. Means a lot. Thank you. Pranam to all of you in different parts of the world. Thank you very much.